Hello, hello. I am about a minute early-ish. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to get on. And then we will jump into it because there are a lot of books. I keep finding more. So I'm just looking through some of the ones that I have. Alright, I'm going to pull up this one too. Dang it. So many. Alright, and then I'm going to pull it up on my computer with the sound off so that way I can pull up comments because we know that Facebook is being weird and doesn't show comments all the time. Hi, I'm doing double duty because I'm watching the closing ceremony as well. Cool beans. I forgot that was happening. I forgot the Olympics. They're over. Huh. We didn't really watch how much this year, so. Alright. Hello, hello. I see people jumping on. Cool beans. There are a lot of books to go through. I have a nice stack next to me. And then I have a nice long list actually on my computer. And one of these books, a lot of you are going to probably like because you're in the book club and you've probably seen it. So, alright. I'm going to give it just another minute for people to jump on and then we're going to go ahead and get started. If you hear any noises in the background, I apologize ahead of time. My husband is playing Skyrim, and he's sitting next to me because I'm doing this from my game room again because it's Sunday and we spend a lot of time in here on Sundays. I mostly watch the opening and closing ceremonies, most of all the figure skating when winter and stuff. Okay. But I have to cheer for my native country, Mexico. It's always nice. I like the skiing because I used to ski. Not that much, not like they do. I did like, you know, the intermediate slopes. Yes, there's a lot of books that you're going to probably be adding today. Like I said, there's a ton. Alright. I used to figure skate. I could never figure skate. I don't even think I've ever skated on ice before. I've rollerbladed. I've done roller skating, but I know it's not the same thing. This is a good game. He should do Assassin's Creed. We do Call of Duty. That's the game that we actually play together. We actually just stopped playing it right before I started this because I was getting on a live video and I can't play and do this at the same time. So, but yeah, we play Call of Duty. We play a lot of games. Like he plays Madden sometimes. So. Alright, I'm going to jump into it because we have a lot to cover today. So, I'm going to start with the books that I have on hand and then I'm going to move to Amazon. So, if you've never been part of one of these before or if you've never watched one, sometimes during the themes I don't have a lot of the books, so I'll pull a whole bunch up on Amazon. Yes, the opening and closing ceremonies are really cool to watch. We watched the opening one for the Winter Olympics. So, alright, so the first one I have not gone through this one at all. It's called just Green Witchcraft 3, and I believe there's a second, or a first and a second one. I don't have those. Yep, on the back. So, on the back it actually tells you Green Witchcraft 2, and then there's the Green Witchcraft 4, it looks like. These are $16.99 for paperback. And it's a pretty thick book. So, but it looks like it has a lot of information in there. And then it actually has assignments, which I thought was kind of cool. So that might be something to check out. Like I said, I thought that was kind of cool. It has assignments in it. And like the chapters are called class. So like class 1, class 2, class 3, etc., etc. So that might be good for somebody who's just starting with like Green Witchcraft, gardening type stuff. Are they all different books or the same information just updated? I believe they're all different books. So the first one says Folk Magic, Fairy Lore, and Herb Craft. The second one says Balancing Light and Shadow. This one is just Green Witchcraft, the manual. And then the fourth one says Walking the Fairy Path. So they are looking like they are all different. So it might be something cool to check out. Alright, let me just rearrange my stuff here. I'm going to skip this one for right now. Alright, the next one I have, I actually ended up with 2 of these. So I actually gave one to my sister not too long ago. But it's called The Green Witch's Grimoire. It's a hardback. It is $16.99 as well. Pretty thick. Again, I haven't been through this one at all. Apparently I saved myself a place, but I don't know why. But apparently I did. Maybe I started reading it. That could be. But this one has exercises in it. It looks like there's spots. If I can pull it out. There's spots to write in it. So that's kind of cool. I really like that. Not that I write in my books because it would freak me out. So I'd probably just write on a separate piece of paper. My husband laughs because he knows that I'm weird about stuff like that. But it's kind of cool. And then it has like, you know, the glossary in the back and stuff like that. But I do like this one. And it says to record and enhance your spiritual journey. So that might be, again, another one. Yeah, so I like I said, I have no idea how I ended up with 2 of them. But I was kind of excited. Actually, it's funny. So this author is the same author as the next one I'm about to pull out. I'm not a green witch and could not read. I can't. I love my books too much to write in them. The next one is another harder book. Same author. It's I'm gonna pronounce her name wrong, I'm sure. Arin Murphy Hiscock. So, but this one is a smaller one. All Natural Magic is what it says. Smaller in terms of size, but thickness still pretty good. It looks like, again, has a lot of stuff that can really help if you are trying to jump into the trying to jump into the green witchcraft type stuff. This one says your complete guide to the natural magic of herbs, flowers, essential oils, and more. Which I think would be really, really good to have. Because like I said, so this one is all about gardening and green witchcraft. You know, just kind of jumping into the more greener side of what we do. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm sure most of my books have paper stuck in them, and I'm just like, I don't know where they came from, so. So this next book, the author, I don't know personally. However, I am a part of her book club, and I follow her on Patreon, and I have listened to all of her podcasts, and I was a part of her private Facebook group for a while before she shut it down. She lives in Canada. She's actually a really, really awesome person. Like, I like following her. I like seeing all the stuff that she posts. I follow her newsletters when she posts them. Her name is Paige Vanderbeek, but she's written a couple books, and this is one of them, Green Witchcraft. I'm pretty sure we did this one for one of our book clubs once. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Serenity is the one who did this one. But she's written a couple of other ones, like one about jar magic, and one about like just a grimoire. Yeah. I would see. I'm not allowed in bookstores by myself because my husband won't let me. But yeah, yes, I love this woman. She has some really awesome information. That's why I like watching her or listening to her podcasts, because she just gives so much information. So I know, like, I've skimmed through this book quite a few times, and there's a few things in here that are pretty cool, but she goes through a lot of stuff in here. And again, it's another book that'd be great if you're just starting, or if you just need like a quick reference guide or something like that. It's called Green Witchcraft. It is $14.99 for US. I'm going with him, but yeah, my husband's not an enabler. He'll basically follow me around and be like, do you need that? What do you need that for? there was one time he did let me, like, my Christmas present was $100 to spend in a bookstore, and he was like, just go have fun. And I was like, okay. So I was just like, what do I do? That was actually a lot because I was like, I don't even know what books I want. But yeah, and also I'm gonna have a list of all these books and the authors, and I'll post it afterwards. And I'm still working on, I gotta go back through the book or the lives, but I'm going to I'm gonna make a list, I think, or a spreadsheet of all the books that we've covered and what the theme was, and then have the books on there. This next one, I wasn't sure I was gonna add to it. It's actually the first book I ever bought in terms of anything witchcraft related. It's called Blackthorn's Botanical Magic: The Green Witch's Guide to Essential Oils for Spellcraft, Rituals, and Healings by Amy Blackthorn. It's a bigger book. I mean, you know, it's a larger book. It is $22.95, but it's pretty thick, and it does have a lot of information in it. There's a lot of stuff about different, like, diffuser oils and like different herbs and things like that, like clove things, you know, just kind of like warnings and, like, you know, magical correspondence, so like the day, the element, things like that. Again, another good one for information if you were going to grow something like lemongrass, if you're going to, you know, grow your own, you would at least have this, like rosemary. I'm trying to think of some of the things I saw in the store yesterday while we were out and about. But yeah, so like all of this is kind of nice to have. I have to add it to my list. It is like these are all so informative. And I will say I have skimmed through most of them quite a few times. I think the only one I haven't really skimmed through is the first one, The Green Witchcraft 3, because that's more of like a class type book instead of like an informational one. But that's not bad either, so. Alright, and then we have the fun part. So I'm going to flip you guys around and show you my computer. So I'm gonna start all the way back here. And then Angie actually gave me a few suggestions on books. So that's where a couple of these come from. And then does I have a side note for one? I wish. Or a plant that, you know, you keep killing. Like I have a never forgot what it's called. Thank you. I have a bamboo in my kitchen. Poor thing, he's been dying. And when I say dying, I mean like the poor thing is on his last leg. I've had to cut off a lot of dead leaves on him, but we replanted him. I've given him some water, and I'm hoping that he's gonna come back to life, because if not, I'm gonna cry. I've had him for a couple of years now, so he's lasted this long. They heard you whisper bamboo. My husband remembers weird things. Like, his memory is very bad. But he remembers, like, weird things. And, like stuff like that. Like, I don't know why, but, like, I forget the name sometimes. And then he's just, like, remember, like, so. Yeah. I killed bamboo. And that's supposed... Yes, it is supposed to be impossible. That's why I thought that, you know, when they said... minimal care, I thought that meant you don't really have to water it. So I didn't. And then they're like, oh, you should put it somewhere where it gets sunlight. So I kept it underneath my television. And then I was like, maybe I should move him. And I moved him into our front bedroom at the time, which then I forgot about him. I forgot that he was there for like a month and a half. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot he's still there. So then I had to move him again. So now he just sits on my countertop in my kitchen. Alright, so this one is The Witch's Garden, and as somebody mentioned, the cover is really pretty. It is $19.12 for the hardback. It does not look like it comes in Kindle. It comes in audio CD, but it doesn't look like it comes in Kindle, which kind of sucks, because I know a lot of us do like having Kindle. I wanted to get some bamboo. Maybe no, you should. You should totally get bamboo. Just don't follow my steps. When they say minimal care, remember that you need to actually water it and put it in the sunlight, or put it somewhere where it can get some light. Don't be me and forget about it in the spare room for a month and a half. Very Mufasa. Yeah. Alright, this next one is called Garden Witchery. The cover's kind of pretty. I do like the cover. And, you know, we've discussed covers before. For those of you who are new or who haven't been here when we discuss covers, I absolutely judge books by the cover. I will still read, you know, the blurb and stuff, but I do judge them. Audio CD, people still get CDs. I guess. I don't know. I don't really have many CDs anymore. I think we have some in our old car, right? Don't we have some? Yeah, we do have some in our old car, but we don't, you know, hang out with them or anything. We just use like Spotify now. The paperback is only $10, and the Kindle, funny enough, is actually $14.99. So if you were going for something that was, you know, cheap, I would just go with the paperback. And I always love it how they do that. They're like, oh, the paperback is always cheaper sometimes. Mine is in a glass clear jar with rocks, and I change the water monthly. So we just put ours in a white one, but we put we put some weird soil in there. Do you remember what it's called?
Just regular potting soil.
Okay, he said it was regular potting soil. I don't know. $15 for Kindles. Yes, it is. It's so crazy. Like, I feel like Kindles should always be cheaper. Now, granted, it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I don't usually do Kindle Unlimited, so. Alright. And that one's by Ellen Dugan. Sorry. I forgot how you normally name those. Alright. So this one I've seen so much. And it's called The Green Witch's Garden. And it's a complete guide to creating, you know, and cultivating your magical space. It's, again, by the same author who did the other two books, Erin Murphy Hiscock. It looks like the Kindle is $10.99. The hardcover is $13.59. You can get the audio book with a free trial, or you can get the audio CD again for $24.89. I have Kindle, okay. A lot of people do. A lot of people use Kindle Unlimited. I usually don't, just because I'll just buy the book normally, or I'll wait till they do like the Stuff Your Kindle, and I'll buy I'll get a whole bunch of free books. Unfortunately, I don't think I've seen Stuff Your Kindle on witchcraft books much. More fiction books than anything else. Yes, she is very popular. She does a lot of books. I've seen her name a ton. But the cover is nice. I do like the cover. And it gives you, you know, that complete garden feel. Or at least I think it does. Alright. So the next one is Green Witch's Urban Plant Encyclopedia. And I don't remember if I pulled this up for the herb one or not. But I do like it. Just because I'm like, oh, well, you know, this isn't that bad either. And again, this cover is so pretty. Like, it's completely in my colorful favorite wheelhouse here. So I love the cover on that one. It's by Rowan Morgana. The Kindle's $10. The paperback is $14.49. The hardcover is $26.99. So it looks like the paperback is even on sale. So that's not bad either. And there's like 150. This is 150 ingredients for everyday witches. So witchcraft. So it is such a pretty cover. I love the cover. And I think because it has an audio book, you can like listen to a sample and stuff like that. And it does show you a little bit of the inside, so I do like that. I love it when they show you the inside, so you can kind of get a feel for what the book looks like. I really like it when you like download a sample and it kind of gives you a breakdown of the chapters. I don't know if anybody's ever done anything like that. But if you ever download a sample on Kindle, it should give you a breakdown of like a lot of the chapters. Alright. this next one is Backyard Garden Witchery, Creating Magical Spaces Outside Your Door. It's by Laurel Woodward. I need a new herb book. I did do a live. I don't remember if it's on YouTube or not. If not, I can always upload it if I still have it. But I did do a live on just herbs. Yes, I like doing that too, downloading it for the book clubs. This paperback is $12.67, and the Kindle is, for some reason, more money, $13.29. Granted, it's less than $1, but it's just always weird to me when the Kindle is more money. Now, it does look like the paperback is on sale from $30 to $12.67. So, that's a little bit, you know, different. Alright. But again, pretty cover. Doesn't show us anything on the inside, but that's okay. A lot of these I've noticed have really, really amazing covers. A lot of these books have some pretty good covers. Alright, so let's move to the next one. Alright, Backyard Witchcraft. Very simple, yet really pretty. And it does look like they have a lot of stuff for the inside. Yeah, random prices. It could be that they're not selling enough, or they're just doing like a really big sale. Like sometimes publishers will do like a massive sale, and they'll just put it down like, you know, quite often. This one doesn't even have a Kindle version. It's just paperback, $12.29, which isn't bad. Again, it's on sale from $16.95. That's still not a bad price. Backyard Witchcraft, the complete guide for Green Witch, the Kitchen Witch, and Hedge Witch. So it kind of gives you like 3 in 1. And it looks like the author is Cecilia Latari. I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce some of these names, which is why I picked something easy for mine. I have this one, very cool. See, I like that. And like I said, the cover looked really, really pretty. And it does look like we have other photos. So like the back of the book, even the back of the book looks really nice. And then we have parts of the inside. My computer is taking a minute to load, or it's just that. Okay. So I like that. I really like that. See, this is really pretty. This will be one I would get just because it's so pretty on the inside. Guess I'll be shopping later too. Yes, I've heard that these book chats really hike up everybody's TBRs. So, but the inside of this book is just absolutely fantastic. So this would be something that I would probably definitely get. And like I said, paperback. A lot of my books are in paperback, so that's a huge bonus. Gardening with the Goddess. So I just thought this one was really cool. It says A Witch's Guide to Creating Magical Gardens by Patricia Telsko. This one just, I like the cover. It sounded like it'd be good. It looks like you can actually see the back of the book too. Yep. It's pretty, but also really important. That's good. I like the ones that kind of give you a little bit of both. And this book right here is actually really cheap. So it's less than $10. It's $8.18, and the Kindle's only $7.77. So that's pretty cool. I really do like that. Hey there. This is right up my alley. I love gardening. And that is what part of this is for. It's for those who really like to garden or want to jump into gardening or something like that. Like I've been telling my husband for the past few days, like I really want to try to grow some stuff outside. Now, granted, we have to be careful. We have 2 dogs and they're both, male, and they like to pee on everything. Pretty confident if they could, they'd probably pee on each other. So I have to be careful of where I put my garden. So I'm thinking about maybe on the side of my house where they can't get to it. Maybe buy some of these will keep my plants alive. That's what I'm kind of hoping for me. Like, I'm kind of hoping maybe if I garden with other things, I'll keep some things alive. Because I also have a really nice aloe plant that I really don't want to die. And knowing me, I'll probably find a way to kill it. So, alright. There's this one, which is Garden Witches Herbal. Ew. Green Magic, Herbalism, Spirituality. Again, Ellen Dugan. And this is Witchery 4. So I'm thinking that there's other ones. Maybe. I'll have to look into it and see if I can find that. But this cover was really nice. A lot of these covers have been absolutely fantastic. And I've been, judging them all. My aloe plant is still kicking. Mine is in my kitchen. I'm trying so hard to not kill the poor thing because I love it so much. Especially when it comes to summer and things like that. Like I use it for my friends' kids. They naturally freaked out because I took like just a leaf and I was just like wiping the aloe on them and they're like freaking out. So I had to like scoop the aloe out of it to like put it on their arms and stuff. Oh, he's fine. He coughs all the time. He's fine. That's why I don't ask him anymore. If he sounded like he was about to like choke and die, then I'd be like, hey man, you alright? And his response would be, no, I'm just dying. So I just don't even ask anymore. The paperback for this one is $14.05. And then the Kindle is $13.35. Slightly cheaper, not much. Yes, this cover's really nice too. And like I said, I've noticed that a lot of these have really good covers. I mean, I know we've come across some of the covers that haven't been like all that great, but I don't think we've come across any yet that have been like, oh gosh, this is just gross. Like, I don't think we've hit one of those yet. Alright. The Witchy Homestead. So, spells, rituals, and remedies for creating magic at home. Again, something that you guys can use for when you're starting your gardens or continuing your gardens. I've done the same thing. I just give them water and go back to what I'm doing. I don't even bother. He just, like I said, I just, I'm careful. I know when he's gonna, croak out sometimes. This is another pretty cover. Oops, I hit the wrong button. And I love that the hanging herbs. I think it's so pretty. I had this book from West. See, I love that. I love that it actually came from something that we've done, which is also kind of cool. I believe we did like an Amazon book list a few months ago, I think. So, but let me go back here. And this one's by Nikki Vanderkar. And again, like I said, so the hardback is $10.60. Kindle, a little bit more, $11.99. But it does look like the hardback is on sale again for a big discount from $20 to $10. And like I said, they're probably just trying to get some out. Sometimes when authors and publishers have a new cover for a book, they'll put their books on sale and they'll drop the price dramatically so that way they can get all their old copies out. So that way they can go to the new with like a new cover or new information or something like that. Or if they're republishing it, things like that. I've seen that happen quite a few times. Alright, last two. This one's pretty too. A Year in the Enchanted Garden, by Monica Crossan. This one, it looks very, very interesting. And like I said, the cover is super pretty. There's a lot going on, but I think it works. Alright, and then this one, the paperback is $14.25. And then the Kindle is $13.54. So, and I was kind of hoping that since we're on the Kindle version, we'd see the inside, but we don't. Let's see if we can see it from the paperback. Nope. And that's another thing. Sometimes, if you guys have ever noticed, if you see one cover with the paperback, it might be a different cover with the Kindle. Publishers and authors do that as well. Only reason I know that's because my publisher actually did that to me. I'm gonna look at ways to keep it. Thank you. That would be great because yeah, I don't want him to die. I want that one to live. I mean, I want them both to live, obviously, but I really don't want my aloe plant to die because I would really like to be able to, use that and use aloe more in the future.
Spot in the bottle.
Shh. I don't want to just buy it in a bottle. I like having aloe from the aloe plant. And then this last book, a lot of you might recognize it from our recent book club. This actually came up when I looked up gardening, which is Wild Witchcraft. So for those of you who don't know, we are currently actually reading this book in our book club. We actually have our meeting tonight, which is kind of funny. Put the aloe plant in the bathroom. Okay. We have space in our bathroom. This one is, I've been loving this book. A lot of us have, during the book club, have. So they actually have several options. They have a hardcover, which is $11.13. A spiral bound, which is $30.12. The Kindle is $10.99, and then you can get it on audiobook. But this book has been so amazing. I know a lot of us have loved it. The cover's great. It is hardback. Actually, I actually have it. And I have it with me. 1 second. I was just getting it off the floor. And I'll show it to you guys as soon as I back out of this. But the back, and then just, you know, parts from the inside. This has been an absolutely amazing book. It's been fun to read. It's been fun to, you know, chat about. So that's another thing. For those of you who haven't joined the book club and you guys watch these religiously or just getting into the book series, the book club is tons of fun. And we obviously we buy a new book every month. But it is so much fun to sit and chat with others about these books, and we learn so much. But yeah, so there is this book. So let me put this back up here and put you guys back around. All right. But yeah, so I have this one, and it's a hardback. And I went through the price, so like I said, it's not bad, and it really, I really do like. So, like, the front pages, they're all yellow. And then she gets into, like, the introduction and to each chapter. And it's not even put in chapters, which I found kind of interesting. It's actually in parts. So, there's, let me find it. There's 4 parts to it. And the first part is really, really short. So, there's part 1, which is really, really short. And then there's part 2. Part 3, part 4 is a lot of like exercises and spells and things like that, which is kind of cool. And like I said, we've really been enjoying this book. A lot of people have learned quite a bit. There's been some things in there that we were like, oh, we didn't know, and things like that. So it's been a really interesting book to read. It's very popular. There's a lot of people reading this one. I joined this one, so I'm so excited. It is so much fun doing the book club. I think next month is a month I'm sitting out and not reading a book, but that's because I have a lot of actual work that needs to get done, so I can't divide my time. Thank you. I actually got this from Sarah Lee's shop when they were doing their like massive sale. So it's a pendulum necklace, and I'm in love with it. When I saw it, I was like, I have to have it. I don't like really gold lately. Well, I never used to like gold, but this necklace spoke to me. I was like, I need to have it. But we went through a lot of books. There were several Amazon books. Obviously, a massive, a massive pile that I had. There's a lot of books for gardening and green witchcraft, and there's even more out there. I just pulled just a few of what I saw. But there's even more, I know. And it really goes good with herbs and things like that. So Amazon has a ton of options. There's like the Green Witches Herbal Apothecary. Like there's just so many. Like just you know, get on Amazon and you'll find a ton. I also have like the Kitchen Witches cookbook, so that has like a lot of recipes in it that you can use after you've actually grown stuff in a garden. I know it's getting to that time where everybody should be starting their gardens and things like that. So That's why Angie was like, hey, we should totally do this month. So I did, and like I said, it's been a lot of fun. There's so many books. Amazon is my kryptonite. It's funny because my husband's like, you can't go into a bookstore by yourself, but I'm allowed on Amazon all the time by myself. Like, I'll get to replay. I'll message you. Okay, perfect. Yes. And yeah, like I said, if you guys are watching this live or watching this on a replay, you know, ask questions, things like that. I also enjoy thrift books. Yep, thrift books is good. I love going into like the old used bookstores in towns if you can find them. I went to Boston many years ago, and there was this really old bookstore, and the books were piled. I mean, like piled up from the floor, like halfway, you know, up the bookshelves. I mean, there was just so many books. It was really awesome. And if it gets delivered, yes. Well, ours don't get delivered straight to our door because we live in a community. We have like a community spot for all of our mailboxes. So unless I order like a whole bunch of stuff and it's like a big huge box that they can't fit, then it'll come to my door. Barnes and Noble, yep. Barnes and Noble, Books A Million we have here. Is there a Barnes and Noble? Yeah, it's in the mall, right?
It's in the mall.
Yeah. So Barnes and Noble is like 20 minutes from us, and now the Books A Million is like 20 minutes the other way. And then next month for book club, or the book series, we're gonna do things a little bit different. So I'm not gonna have a theme next month. We're just gonna talk books. I'm just gonna pull some random books off the bookshelf, and I'll just pull some random ones off of Amazon, and we're just gonna talk, you know, just general books, and you know, all the books, as many as we want. We can, you know, dive a little bit deeper into some of the ones if you guys want. But yeah, we're just gonna, you know, just do a general book one kind of. So this will kind of give us a little bit of a theme break, but also, you know, still make it fun, things like that. So but I think that is all that I had for today. Like I said, there was a lot. We went through a lot. Dark Deities actually would be a good theme. I'm gonna write that down. Have my little sticky notes here. And that's the other thing. If you guys have suggestions and things like that, let me know. Even if I don't have any of the books on hand, I'll just Amazon them. And that's not a big deal. So I don't mind doing that at all. Thank you for sharing these books with us. Yes. I'm going to type up the titles and the authors, and then I'll post it in the comments here for everybody to check out, and that'll be it. So again, if you guys are watching a replay, or if you have any questions or anything like that, or any suggestions for future themes, let me know. I'm sure we can take this, you know, pretty far. I think I have themes all the way to the end of the year. So that's like Great Apple Books in San Francisco. There's also a thrift shop in LA. Has awesome. Oh, of course. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm gonna probably go start dinner here soon because it's gonna take us a little bit to cook. So I will see you all next month for our book series chat. Rename the series to anyone. Pretty much that's how everybody feels, is pretty much we just enable everybody. So have a great evening. Bye everybody.